Welcome all. Hey YouTube, the Dave DY Show. Once again, we're coming from the far off angular approach today. No, like hugely, starkly, politically, socially real. There's a lot going on with all of that right now. Politics and, oh boy, troubling things around the U.S. and the world. There's an article out there where an experimental Swedish art project will pay an individual, possibly you, to do nothing for the rest of your life. In Sweden, you will be paid to do nothing for the rest of your life. So, if you haven't seen the particulars of it, one lucky employee will punch in and out every day at the Korsvägen train station in Sweden. And that's all they have to do. The train station is being built or planned. And this individual, starting in 2026, and you can be lucky or you can be really bored or whatever, something in between. This worker will show up at the Korsvägen train station in Gothenburg, Sweden. And every day, thanks to a government-funded conceptual art project, this person will, let me tell you, job requirements. The employee will show up at the train station each morning, punch a time clock. The time clock in turn will illuminate a bank of fluorescent lights over the platform at the train station. And it will let travelers and commuters know that the otherwise functionless employee is now on the job. At the end of the day, the 8-hour, 10-hour shift, whatever it is, the worker will return to clock out and subsequently have the lights go off. In between, they can do whatever they want, aside from working at another paying job. They don't need to stay at the train station. They're not obligated. It's not part of the job. The entire day long, they can leave. They can quit or retire. They can be replaced by another worker anytime they want. Otherwise, their employment is guaranteed for life. There's no qualifications needed. The project is open to anyone in the world, as stated on Atlas Obscura, which is some reporting agency that has shared this information. The pay for the individual who will report to Korsvägen, and it's under construction. Applications, again, I said, are going to be starting to receive 2025. The station will open 2026. But there's already information out there from this Atlas Obscura. The salary is $2,320 a month, approximately, in US dollars, plus your annual wage increase, your vacation time off, your pension for retirement, and the apps are going to be taken 2025. This is an art project that was approved by the government for this train station. The position has no duties or responsibilities other than clocking in to the time clock and turning the light bank on, and then clocking out at the end of the day. The employee will be free to do whatever they choose to do that constitutes work for them. And it's titled, this art project is titled Eternal Employment. It's a social experiment and a serious political statement. And this thing was contrived and came out of a 2017 Public Art Agency Sweden and Swedish Transportation Administration announcement of an international competition for artists interested in contributing to this new station's design. So the Public Art Agency of Sweden and the Transportation Administration said, hey, we're building a new station in Korsviken, Guthersberg, or whatever it is, Sweden, Gutenberg, Bergleberg. And we have a new contest where the winner will get 7 million Swedish krona. It's around 750 grand US. And so two gentlemen, Simon Golden and Jacob Seneby, they're a pair of Swedish artists whose work was inspired by offshore banking, other weird areas of art. They entered the contest and suggested not following your normal art equivalents for a transportation station, such as a mural or a sculpture or something, for $750,000 US. Instead, they wrote they would use the prize money to pay one worker's salary and give them absolutely nothing to do at all. The entire workday that they had. And they stated, in the face of mass automation and artificial intelligence, the impending threat promise is that we will all become productively superfluous. Their proposal said, we will all be employed at Korsviken, as it were, doing nothing all day long other than clocking in, turning the lights on, and then clocking out. They cited French economist Thomas Piketty, his theory that accumulated wealth has typically grown at a rate that outpaces increases in workers' wages. The results, an ever-widening gap between the extremely rich and everyone else. Surprise. We've talked about this in the past. That's what's happening around the globe. It's horribly polarizing in the United States. You have these huge swaths of low income and this tiny, minute class of super income. These two dudes, Golden and Seneby, they predicted that by creating a foundation to prevent the prize money from being taxed and then investing it in the market, they'd be able to keep paying that employee's salary for eternity, or at least 120 years. And so a 2017 financial analysis conducted by Erik Penser Bank, the Erik Penser Bank in Sweden, a major financial institution, which the artists submitted as part of their application, concurred. They said they were right. Yep, if you did that, it would work. They proposed paying the worker 21,600 krona a month, the equivalent of about $2,300, or $27,744 a year. And factoring a 3.2% annual increase in salary, which is what the public sector for Swedish employees gets, the bankers concluded that there's a 75% chance that the prize money would earn enough interest from being invested in an equity fund for 120 years or more to be able to meet the requirement of paying this individual for doing nothing. And in a sense, the artwork can function as a measure of our growing inequality. the two artists, Golden and Senebe, wrote. Deeming the idea to be humorous, innovative, and an artistic expression of great quality, the jury that had been convened to judge the competition awarded them the prize. The team that judged the competition gave these two guys the prize for their proposed artwork of a superfluous, non-producing employee being paid to do nothing at the station for the rest of time. Strange. And a bunch of people in Sweden, there was an uproar, right? Brian Quan Wood, a board member for the Eternal Employment Foundation, wrote in the art journal eFlux, outrage came from politicians on all sides. So when everybody heard about it, they flipped out. Old Social Democrats accused them of using financial realism to mock the transcendental accomplishments of the welfare state. Old Social Democrats accused them of using financial realism to mock the transcendental accomplishments of the welfare state. Neoliberal progressives accused them of wasting taxpayers' money to stage a nostalgic return to that same welfare state. Lars Jalmerid, a member of parliament from Gothenburg who belongs to Sweden's center-right moderate party, decried the conceptual artwork as stupidity in the news magazine Dagens Samhälle. So everybody freaked out. They're like, you awarded these idiots $750,000 for this stupid interactive art thing of this person walking up in this brand new beautiful station that's not going to have a fucking mural or some cool conceptual art or crap, a giant top, a ball, some weird design. Stupidity! You're all dumb. Yep. This happened in Sweden. In fucking Sweden. And the two artists, this Golden and Senebe, they fully acknowledge that paying someone to show up at a train station twice a day and punch a clock is unproductive and thoroughly worthless. That's the idea. People believe that art is supposed to be useless, they point out. They also suggest that the pointless job could lead to the creation of a new idiom expressing apathy, indolence, and boredom. You're working as though you're at Korsvägen. I mean, what the fuck are you doing? You ain't doing anything. Are you at Korsvägen? Are you punching in the clock? What are you doing? Weird flavors. I told you, man, this was coming from the far angled corner of the Twilight Zone. I think Rod Serling was around here. So, they're going to start taking apps in 2025. If you go to this Atlas Obscura, Google it, you can go out there and see the story. You can see the interview from these two artists. You can see the proposed format of this application that they're going to put out there. It's open to everyone on the globe. If you want to live in Gutenberg, Bergelberg, Sweden, and wake up in the morning, walk to a train station, ride your bike to the train station, most in Sweden, take your Uber or your Lyft, or drive your $2,000 car that you got for last month's pay for doing nothing. Hit your time clocks, turn your lights on, and then go back and do whatever you got to do. But you can't get another job, another paying job. If you do, you will forfeit this fine paid job for doing nothing. So, yeah, idealism and political statements and some fundamental idioms and thoughts at work here. And some group that had $750,000 thought it was pretty novel stuff. They awarded these cats the artistic award. And I'm sure this is going to turn into some, urban legend locale where people around the world are going to travel there and take their selfies, their social media shots or whatever. Either with this cat, punching their time clock in so that the lights are going on or leaving. Or maybe with the cat, some days they'll just sit there for a moment at the station, looking around, because that's their job. Do whatever they want. For the rest of their life, every day, for 365 days in the year, for the next 120 years till they're dead. Receiving approximately $2,300 American dollars a month for doing nothing. And boy, is that a strange, powerful statement. Statements are statements and art is art. And this clearly isn't useless. This is the opposite of useless. This is useful funds to promote a pretty damning and open statemented art form. Hell, I wouldn't be surprised if Shia LaBeouf shows up. Shia LaBeouf starts punching the clock there. And then 4chan, the anonymous cats start bombing him. They turn the lights off. Or the flag. They tell everybody where the flag is. Or they hide the flag. Ah, God. So, a rather strange discussion item. I wonder what you think. It's so easy to dismiss this as silly, stupid, and wasteful. And this isn't small. This went through, a process. These individuals came up with a pretty full-blown plan. They had it confirmed from the financial aspects of the plan, the art piece. The board for these agencies reviewed it with other art. Other people for $750,000 wanted to put their art in. And they lost to this concept art. This Golden and whatever the other dude's name is, Sotheby. Pretty weird stuff, man. Golden and Seneby. These guys won it. They're going to gain nothing from it other than notoriety, I guess. I'm sure they'll get publicity and they'll get marketing, and maybe that kind of, exposure will provide them with other opportunity to make money. It may not be their goal. Their goal may be to share a message or to point out, inequality or our strategies, our forward strategies that are broken. Clearly, they're deep thinkers. They're not your basic artists that just whip shit up, like, your street art or your murals or a sculpture or whatever. These cats have a different agenda, which I tell you what, I don't know if you can trust them. People like that, I'm not sure if you can trust them. They may take the money and run. Maybe, they'll take more money for whatever the moderate return is that has to be made so that for 120 years, that $775,000 pays for this position. Maybe it'll make $7 million or $700 million. You never really know the intent, but that we're even talking about this and that it occurred and that the Swedish government responded and that a train station, a transportation hub in fucking Sweden's going to have some weirdo walking in there doing some strange shit for whatever. Sort of crazy. And my next thought is, when do the lawyers, when does calmer, more rational, more authoritative thought come into play? Oh, this is all a fine exercise and it's gone its course and we get your point. We are not giving $775,000 away to these gentlemen, so we'll intervene in this process. When does Big Brother or those in control intercede in this ongoing process right now? Maybe never. I don't know. Maybe the Swiss are pragmatic or calm or, that's the way it happened, you know? You don't have, clearly you got some fiery people. They're speaking out about it. But you don't have that, this won't happen. Won't happen in my country. Ridiculous stupidity. Maybe it will happen. Maybe that'll be a bucket list trip in the future. Traveling over to Gothenburg. Where the hell is it? Gothenburg, Sweden. Sweden's cold. It's got to get some snow. Dude, on those days with snow, you take your $2,344 and you pay some dude to walk down there, $10, and click your light on. And then you don't even have to go to work. Or you even set something up. Or you just, put a timer. Or you have something that auto inserts your punch in. And the lights go on. It wouldn't take much to make that job a non-apparent job. Or maybe not. Maybe the stipulations will state that you must twice a day visit the train station to turn your light on and off. And this is a fundamental stipulation of your ongoing payment for the rest of your life. So now you're tied to Gothenburg, Sweden. I don't know. All around sort of weird. And this thing could move in any angle. But I thought it was a very strange and interesting read for people, for organizations, for the country of Sweden, for artists, for political activists, for thinkers, to share a pretty poignant and powerful activity and action that you probably thought was a joke, let's put this in. How many times has that occurred between us, our friends, whomever? And 99.9% of the time no one acts. These two guys clearly acted. They put a proposal in. It was a well thought out proposal. They spent time on it, some money, invested their own resource, turned it in. Boom! 775,000 US bucks later, they got their awesome artwork ripping. It's like a Banksy. It's some Sphinx or some Nazi fucking, weird table set dinner under the, Last Supper from, whatever, Da Vinci or who the hell knows. It's like a Banksy. What? Where'd that come from? How much is that worth? Man, I need to get me a Banksy. Ooh. And I haven't heard much on Banksy after we thought we knew who that individual was. The singer, the lead singer, or the guitarist for whatever that heavy metal band is. I don't know. YouTube that or Google that thing. Somebody inadvertently exposed Banksy. Ooh. Has there been new Banksy artwork? I think there has. Maybe Banksy's behind this whole fucking Gothenburg transit station over there at where's it at? Korsvagen train station. Korsvagen. Where do you work? I work at Korsvagen. You like you're working at Korsvagen. Oh, nothing. You lazy Korsvagener. Maybe it will be an idiom. Acting like you work at Korsvagen. Be like, I need a gig like that, dude. Punch in. Peace. I'm out. So, stimulating and strange and off the center. An off topic, an off strange, normal topic conversation today. But I wanted to maybe strike that in your head, see where you're at. Your comments, your subscriptions, your likes, your shares. What do you think about this thing? I don't know. I don't know if I could have a job like that. I don't know if I couldn't have a job like that. I don't know if I'd want to live in Sweden. Gothenburg. Maybe if it were in Rome. Or a big city, Paris. They'd have to pay you more. So, those are my thoughts for today. Off target. Off mark. Weird. From the side. Rod Serling. Twilight Zone. Like I said, comment, like, subscribe, share. Take the UI Show out.